Arsenal have approached Aston Villa for Ollie Watkins. It did get rejected until again, there's more news. So if you're interested, stay along, like the video, wash your hands, take your shoes off, wipe your face, like the video, subscribe, because we're going to be talking about that man that nobody thought that was going to, well, make the move. I thought he was going to be staying. John Duran's meant to be going Saudi, and now that might be changing. So who knows? Duran might get his wish at Aston Villa because it's just coming again that terms between Ollie Watkins representatives and Arsenal is not a problem. Aston Villa see Duran as a long-term centre forward and are open to selling Watkins at the right fee. And talks are back underway. So as much as they wanted to reject the talks and reject the fee of 60 million, Arsenal are going to go back in probably for another bid around 65 to 70 million for the 29-year-old. He does support Arsenal, by the way. There was approached about a few years ago as well, and it didn't happen. But Ollie Watkins has hit heights that probably no one expected. I think he suits Arsenal to a T as well. Because, Arteta likes these left winger striker type builds, Sesko being one of them, who's tried to get Isak's another name on the list who also probably occupies the same kind of spaces as well, like an Ollie Watkins. But for me, I'm seeing a lot of talk online saying, why would you pay 60 million for a 29-year-old? Might even rise to 65 to 70 million, meaning they can save all that cash. Well, not save it, but they can get the same cash they were going to get for John Duran anyways. John Duran's younger. They want to build a squad. They want João Felix on loan as well. And I think it'll be a good fit. I don't think when it comes to the striking department, you can't really put a price on that. If they can score you goals and get you assists, get you up the pitch, being a threat, can't really put a price on that. I think 60, 70 million is not a bad fee in January. Arsenal have been lacking Saka all season. There's been Havertz critiques as well. And, even if he's 29 or 30, the guy's not slowing down. When has it got to a point in football, right, where a 29-year-old striker who's renowned in the Premier League at the moment, not in world football, is a bad thing? I don't understand it. Does everybody have to be 21 years of age or 22 or 18? And we have to give them 18 months to adjust to see if they even become anything great. I think it's pathetic. I don't see how anyone could be like looking at this. Oh, but you're going to, in 3-4 years time, he's going to be 33 years of age. He's not going to be that good anymore. It's a bad investment. So what? You're meant to be a top club, though. So go and get the top players. That's the way it works. In 4 years, what's 60 million, 70 million? It's nothing. You want to go and win the league, you're going to have to go pay top dollar in January. I didn't see City fans complaining about Gundogan, about his age coming back at 33. Last time I checked, Jorginho's still a decent player at 33. Last time I checked, Thomas Partey's getting older and he's still good. Old players don't mean they're crap. And I just don't understand the consensus around that. And I just don't think anyone should buy into it. I come from a age of football where you'd buy someone in their prime, 27, 28, 29. I got Robin Van Persie when he's a little bit older and he won us the league. I'm not saying Ollie Watkins is Van Persie, but he was at pretty much an older age, and look how he was moving. So why should it change anything now? Everyone wants the next best prospect. Go sign him for 20 million. Oh, let me go gloat to everyone. Oh, look at him now. We bought him for 5 million, and 2 years later, we're doing Brighton, FC. Look how good he is. He's worth 100 million now. Flipping, no. Are we flipping selling clubs? We're meant to be top clubs. Arsenal, City. You don't see City selling players or thinking about the profit. They just do that with all the youngsters. Don't want to turn into Chelsea, but everyone wants to do their model. United's just in the bin with Tottenham, so who gives a crap about that? Liverpool, well, I mean, depends if you want the FSG model or not. It's up to in your fancy. But I feel like Ollie Watkins just improves Arsenal tenfold. I just don't rate Havertz as much as the next man. I think he's a useful tool and can be used in certain areas. But one thing that I think Arsenal lack is a lot of movement up front. Whether it's on the right with Saka because he's too busy getting hounded by two guys. Martinelli can't even dribble past anyone. And if he does, it's meet settings. So you need someone that's going to get into positions to score. I don't think Ollie Watkins is actually mad clinical. I think he needs 5 chances to score sometimes. But it's the thought of, you have to think as a defender if he's running in behind you and whatnot. And you have to think twice just because he's a bit of a shadow. It's just like, yeah, I agree. Daps has just said that even got that in Jesus. But the difference with Jesus is he drops too deep. Wants to get involved and play too much, right? But he gets in some good areas. And obviously now he's got a knee injury. He was on some good goal scoring form, to be fair. They're lacking a lot of top options. I think Arsenal would be stupid to not go out there and go get something else on top of Watkins. They probably won't because we know what they're like. Probably try to find someone on loan. I think they need a left winger potentially, maybe even an attacking 8. Wanyeri's back, another option. But I think he does elevate their season a little bit more. I don't think it's enough to win them the league, but it's definitely a good option overall, and I don't think anyone can deny that. The price, don't talk about the price. He's going to get you goals. I just had suits behind me saying, now, I like Watkins. Now I'm going to have to hate him. It's just one of those, rules are the rules. You're going to have to hate on this guy from now on. And then you're going to get every critique coming out probably tomorrow, tonight, and telling us like they don't really rate Watkins. Never thought he was that good. He's a good player. I don't think no one can deny that anyways. I think Aston Villa, they're quite good at selling players these days. They got a little bit of a loophole in them. They learn from Todd B a little bit too fine. They're doing their bits. I think at the right time, Aston Villa are moving like a club how they should do. I think when they are 29, the top clubs will become fiending in and wanting to sell that players at that point. John Duran is clearly, he's a great prospect. Is someone to really learn their craft would be there. You're going to have some people come out and say, well, if you're going to spend 70 million on a 29-year-old, I think he's just turned 29, by the way. Why don't you just go out there and go get that for Duran? There's no guarantee that Duran's going to become a world-beater in world football. Something that, you need something in a top club is some guarantees, like goals, like assists, like performances, something that a lot of these other clubs like my own lack. There's not enough consistency. I think, and obviously Ollie Watkins has also got some Champions League experience behind him now. He knows what it's like to play in Europe a couple times now. I think he'll be really good. I think for me, it's definitely an 8 out of 10, 8.5, 10 type signing. Nobody saw it. Again, you keep moving. I don't know. Do you rate your depths? Do you rate the signing? What would you rate the signing?
For the price, I think it's a bit mad.
For the price, it's a bit mad, but considering it's January and it is late.
I don't think he's clinical. Like, the whole thing Arsenal lack is a clinical goal scorer.
Clinical. Yeah. That's why they need something else. Someone else in the wing that's going to get you some goals.
Clinical goal. He will add goals, but he's not clinical goals.
Yeah. He's not clinical. But he does assist as well. So he is like a team player at least.
Yeah, he's like Jesus.
Yeah.
But
more.
I'll tell him maybe once.
If I'm an Arsenal fan though, which I'm not obviously, you got to look at the board and ask yourselves, why has it taken these lot 29 days to get going for a striker that they could have done with 15 days ago potentially? You looked at Sesko, unrealistic. You looked at John Duran, which was come out yesterday, unrealistic. But then again, you're just putting up money for him, so it was realistic at that point. And then you look at other ones thinking if Isak's got to potentially have a little something, he's going to go sign a new contract, summer target. It doesn't mean that Arsenal shouldn't go in the summer and go and get somebody else on top of Watkins, because you should be moving on Jesus. He ain't going nowhere because he's injured. And maybe move on Havertz if you can. Probably the perfect time. Different dynamic though, I must say, because at least running him behind, he's going to be a threat. I don't know for him pretty much up front by himself. I think he needs a little bit of help maybe there. Maybe Erdegaard can play a little bit more closer to him. Maybe Martinelli can play a little bit more close to him. Martinelli actually might even benefit from that. But let me know how you feel about this. Give me a rating out of 10 of how you feel that the signing would be. I'm going to give it the 8.5 because I feel like I think Arsenal just lack a threat regardless up front. I think I'm gonna say Daps is gonna give it probably a 6.5.
No,
Giving it a 7. Giving it a 7. Suits, what would you give it?
1.
No, all right. The one where you did like him.
If it was for Man United, then I'd rate it about 7.5.
7.5, 8. There you go. So we can't hide our agendas. Good player, good sign if you get over the line, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be more updates within the next. Well, I'd say after their game tonight in the Premier League. So, but in a bit, smash the like, subscribe, and then if we get any more updates, then I'm pretty sure we'll be live.